and the last one looked like software that would normally be installed, or we would develop in-house, you know, like that. So I mean, is there plans? Is it always going to be SaaS? Is it installable? You know, what if it's a very large environment?
Well, we're planning to have an on-premise version. It's not there today, but we're planning to have that. So
an installable one.
Yes. Well, there's demand from some industries to get that.
Yeah.
So I'm just, you know, looking at your presentation. It seems to me like more of a data collector and aggregation function, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically collecting data from various runtime environment and putting it in a format that I can easily understand, right?
So yes, we connect to a number of application services, operating systems, basically everything that can send us events, metrics, metadata.
So do you provide any kind of business intelligence function on top of the data, or just purely an aggregation function here?
So right now we do have some ways to browse the data. You know, so you can look at time series data. You can slice and dice your events. You can do this sort of things. We're going to add much more in the future, but today we just let you do that.
Okay.
So operations teams, the trend in operations teams these days is maturing away from watching metrics and watching dashboards to receiving alerts and managing exceptions in your environment. And what it seems like you're doing is providing kind of a dashboard on steroids, right? It's something where you can watch that'll show you everything that's happening in your environment. But that more mature organizations will not want to sit there and watch screens, but rather receive notifications when something interesting is happening.
Yes, and that's,
so how do you address that?
And that's what this stream is about. You know, it's the one sequential stream of information that you should care about. Not all the possible graphs, all the possible dashboards, all the possible things you could possibly look at. So the goal here is to give you a list of things that are notable enough for you to pay attention to them.
Right, but the mode will still be that you have, you know, an operator or somebody sitting there watching the screen all day, right? Or some part of their day.
The stream can be delivered as notifications. You get them in your email, you get them on your mobile device if you want. You don't have to sit in front of it. The point is that there's one stream with a beginning and an end that tells you everything that is changing, everything that is important, everything you should care about. So you don't have to sit in front of it, basically.
Okay. And how do you determine what's important and what's not?
Well, that's the tricky part. So I mean, there's a mix of rules, a mix of things that we get from the data, and a mix of social dynamics. We let our users tag the data, so we try to learn from them exactly what they care about, what they look at, what they don't care about.
So to follow, sorry, go ahead. To follow up his question, you know, is there a console where I can go and set like KPIs, key processing indicators? Well, based on that, you can send notification to the targeted operations team, for example.
Yeah. So we have APIs and tools that let you send data. You said that very soon we let you set thresholds and everything that you need to that makes sense to you and you want to set specific triggers on, and it's all available in console or programmatically. You don't have to use the UI for that.
And it's different from like a hosted Nagios. How?
We actually, Nagios is one of the sources we use.
One of the sources of data.
Yes. It's one of the many. So we paint a picture of the application that goes from so the monitoring, the operating system, the application, the custom metrics. Some of our customers want us to integrate with some of their application performance management tools. You know, they use New Relic or AppDynamics and things like that. And so we basically paint a picture that sees everything at all layers, everything you care about.
Do you guys have any API where I can, for example, take your data and, or output and integrate with my operations tools or systems?
Yes. Everything, all data in, all data out is available with an API.
Okay. I have a question on the social part of it, right? Because that's like, you know, I think something that, you know, every other tool you talk about, I mean, like the actual kind of Facebook-like interface is somewhat unique. I think, I mean, is like how deep is the collaboration aspect of that right now? And is there a plan to like, you know, make it more, you know, like how collaborative can you actually get, or is it just like reading a stream, or, I mean, is there, you know?
Well, I mean, there are some use cases that lend themselves really well to collaboration. So these are, for example, alert response right now. So, you know, you can, when you reply to an alert, you can say exactly what you're doing, what's happening, where you processed it. And the next time a similar alert will come by, we will actually bring that back, and you will see exactly who was on it, who you could ask what happened last time and what they did. So we're building a series of use cases like that that work very well with collaboration. And we use collaboration as a way to make sure that everyone sees a consistent picture together, that they can answer the question, who's working on that, who knows about that, who pushed that code, who did what, and to learn also about what is relevant to any given one of our users. So.
All right. Is there any plan to automate some of that, right? So at some point you learn, or right, like this is kind of the fix for this problem, and I don't I don't need to be search or even be alerted about that, or you just kind of.
Yes, but you'd be. So we have a crowd here that is generally very, very sophisticated, technically speaking. A lot of our customers, a lot of our users don't know where to look exactly, even for simple things. You know, it's very hard to get visibility across the stack. And we started with these building blocks, and then, of course, we're going to get smarter as we move forward.
So what about scale? What kind of data size can you support? You know, you showed monitoring as one of the things that you can ingest as data sources for, you know, for monitoring. We have millions of metrics that get reported every minute.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what we're building the service for, basically. So an unlimited amount of metrics. We currently charge for our product. We don't limit the amount of data our customers can send us. We just limit the number of hosts that they care about, or be they virtual or real. And so we already get tens of billions of data points a day, even with a fairly small deployment initially, and we're building for that, basically.
Do you have your own data centers, or are you in the cloud yourself?
So we're in the cloud still.
Do you have any questions from the audience? Or, all right. I think we're good.